All right. So earlier this month, right, I made a video predicting the energies for the month of September, and I said I was going to be doing a monthly series to that regard. So I um I broke down these various timelines, and I said that Mars is one of the planets here that we need to be active, one energy that we need to be very, very, very cautious about, especially those in partnerships, in affairs, in marriages, in any kind of partnership, be it professional, platonic, or romantic partnership. Yes, yeah. Any kind, you need to be careful because there's likelihood that divorce rate is going to skyrocket, and there's going to be issues of physical abuse. I think one just came out in the media recently about a man beating off his wife or something. And in fact, there are so many others too that have not made it to the media. So when I said that, and we just today is the 21st, so we just stepped into um, the timeline. And like I said in the last predictions video, the timeline for Aries. So Mars is now active. Where do we have Mars? In Cancer. So this is where I normally say women need to be careful. You understand? As they are moving about, especially when they are commuting, because currently Sagittarius is and Jupiter, sorry, is in Cancer. So which is the planet of transportation. So like when you're transporting, you avoid exchanging words, be it with a conductor, with anybody. You get into your bus, go to where we want to go to. Anybody that says something that irritates you, ignore them like they are not there. Don't start any quarrel. The energy is not good for women this period for a long time now. In fact, throughout the whole of this year, because Mars is prominent, and someone was asking me on Facebook, how do I know which planet is prominent for the year? I mean, that's just like you don't want to do astrology, you just want to learn how I predict so that you can start predicting. You don't go there, that's not how to do it. That's not how to do it. You have to know astrology first before you begin to talk of predictions. You don't cut corners. You can't do predictive astrology without knowing astrology. You just want to know how I got there. Okay, simple. I broke down the number of the year. You understand? Every planet is associated with a number. Number one is the sun. Number two is the moon. On and on like that. Number 9 is Mars. And that is the last on the list. The only planet that is not in that number line stack is Pluto. Neptune is there, Uranus is there. Only Pluto is not in that stuff. So there are only 9 planets in the numerology of astrology. There are 9 planets. 10, no 2 numbers exist. You know the laws of numerology. Where there are 2 numbers, you have to bring them and get one. You understand what I'm saying? So the year 2025, if you add it 2, just take out the 0, it's nothing. Take out 2 plus 2 plus 5. Is that not 9? That is 9. That means Mars very, very active. You think these things don't matter? Numerology, astrology, these things are not separated. I don't know why people often think, no, I want to learn alchemy. It's alchemy that I want to learn. Some will be like, no, I want to learn Kabbalah. That's the tree of life. They want to learn that one. Like people, I just want to learn only astrology. No. Yes, you might have a preference for one, but you have to know a bit of all of these things. We are the ones currently that are separating these things. The ancient did not separate it. We knew all these things in its totality. Just like currently now, as I'm teaching you guys astrology, I'm not including the astronomy of it. You understand? I'm not including the astronomy of it because if I introduce that one, people will get lost because you've already been conditioned to think it's just read people. So sometimes when I say certain things about certain signs, some people want to bring in their identity into it, which is not supposed to be so. There's 4 different types of astrology, and I said it in the video I made about the introduction, the astrology for beginners, introduction to astrology. I mentioned it there, 4 types of astrology. But in the video before that one, which is the one titled "What Nobody Tells You About Astrology," I mentioned 2. These are the 2 common ones, which is Geneslaika, which is natal astrology, the astrology of reading people, the psychology of people and predicting people's lives. And then mundane astrology, politics, governments, worldly events. That's mundane astrology. You understand? So you just don't think that astrology is just all about talking about people. No, we use this stuff to predict energies of the world. This thing in the ancient times, they've used it to predict the fall of empires, the fall of civilizations, this very stuff. That is why you find in some videos that you watch when a kingdom is invaded, you find the priesthood, they don't put up any fights. They just calmly. So their time has come. What do you want to fight for? That's ended. It's either you go out peacefully or you go out by violence. So just calmly, just peacefully, just So it has gone. The universal clock is saying, this is the celestial clock of the divine. It's telling you, this is the celestial clock of the divine, in case you don't know. Everybody has a celestial clock, which is your birth chart. In case I'm saying celestial clock, you think it's something that you have to pay me money for. I'm not a charlatan. You don't pay me money to get your celestial clock. I taught you how to get your birth chart. Go and watch my video. That chart you're seeing, that is your celestial clock as it's moving. Just that the divine clock move anti-clockwise. Yes, the divine clock move anti-clockwise. Okay, you don't know? The divine clock, that is on this scale, right? Because there are other levels where it moves clockwise. So you see the mechanics, one is going like this, one is going like this. So there's different layers of mechanics that goes into how the divine clock works. And why I'm saying this is like, what is it called? The precession, is the Earth axis. You understand? The precession of the Earth axis goes clockwise. So in astrology, we say it slips backward through the zodiac. But that motion is moving, is clockwise motion. You understand? It's not going anti-clockwise. Instead of going from 0 degrees to 29 degrees, it goes from 29 degrees to 0 degrees. So it goes clockwise. That is one layer of the divine's clock that moves clockwise. So people that keep saying the inverted time, you don't know enough astronomy or astrology to even begin to talk about these things. That's why sometimes when you know so much, you lose interest to talk, because you know that you might say something and tomorrow you might end up being wrong. So what is the need of even rushing, being in a haste to want to make statements? Time was not inverted. Whoever created the clock and all of that, they did it that way to go until there's no big deal there. There's a layer of the celestial plane that moves events here on this planet in clockwise motion. You understand what I'm saying? So for this particular predictions, why I wanted to make this video, I always talk about Mars, and why I talk about Mars is the planet that brings harm, loss, harm. This is a malefic. If you know astrology, then you know what malefic is. It's a malefic. And why I'm talking about it so much is because of where it is in the Nigerian chart. I have a lot of female followers. Even here, I have a lot of female subscribers. So I always I feel like I owe them to give them this information, because they are not strong, physically strong like us to defend themselves. The best they can do is to be aware of possible danger and stay clear of it. There are in other countries where you see Mars is in Cancer. Women are shooting men on the streets. Yes, women are taking on men. Not in Nigeria. Nigeria has Mars in Cancer. We have seen a long history for years and decades. Women have always been at the mercy of men when it comes to brutal, physical abuse. Because that's what Mars is physical abuse. Abuse in the home, domestic violence. We have a high rate of domestic violence here in this country. Mars now happens to be the planet that is prominent for the year, because we're in the year 2025. You understand my point? We're in the year 2025. For those that will say, oh, the Yoruba men, they changed the time, the backward time, they did this. Mars has shown to be prominent for this year, so the 2025 is correct. Maybe there's a way they tampered with it, but they are using a specific timeline that is accurate. Just not the timeline that we used to use before they came. But it's not wrong. They are just not using our own time system. They created their own, but it seems if it tallies, Mars has been active this year. They has been born in California, in Canada, places, in all those places. Forests have gone up in flames. That is Mars. Mars is fire. That was a period where it was opposing Pluto in Aquarius, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Was it Pluto in Aquarius? Yes. Mars was in Cancer. Yes, it was opposing Pluto. It was opposing Pluto in Aquarius. Yes. That opposition there. But guess what? Mars is now going into his house. That is the purpose of this video. Mars is going into his own home. Scorpio. It rules Scorpio. And why am I making this video? Because I need to tell people what is coming. On my Facebook, I said religious heads, spiritual heads, both DBS, pastors, bishop, reverend. Mars is moving to the place in the Nigerian chart where Neptune is. Neptune is this people that I mentioned. You're into spirituality, you're a spiritual head, you're a religious head. That's Neptune. Neptune. Nigeria has Neptune in Scorpio. 1st October 1960. You don't know, go and pull up a chart for that date and look for a time that will give you Cancer, the ascendant. I don't care which time you use. If you're interested in astrology, go and figure out the time. But anytime that puts the ascendant as Cancer, boom, you've gotten the chart. I've given you expo. So go and read it. But yeah, I'm reading this thing now. I'm telling you, look. Venus, which is the planet of partnership, relationship, contract signing, negotiations, and all of that stuff, is in the sign of Scorpio. Venus is also the planet of government, law, the judiciary system, the courts, lawyers, is Venus. It's also the planet of the government, politicians, politics is government. Neptune, religious heads, and all so many other things, including nightclubs. And for those that will be watching me, you will attend nightclubs. This is not the best time to go for nightclubs. While I'm making this video, Mars is going to be in Scorpio tomorrow on the 22nd of September. 8:55 a.m. in the morning, they break like this. Mars don't Mars is every year permeated everywhere. People are agitated, people are irritated, they don't like the state of things. You're going to see celebrity beats. Why I say this is because this is the 5th house. I hope you are seeing my board. This is the 5th house here. Nigeria has Scorpio in the 5th. Nigeria has Scorpio in the 5th. Which is funny because the cusp of the 5th house is right there. Scorpio. This Scorpio manifestation is strong. And Pluto also rules Scorpio. Mars rules Scorpio, Pluto rules Scorpio. Pluto is currently in Aquarius. Aquarius is airport. And here where you have Aquarius, the 9th corpse of the Nigerian chart is there based on the time that I use, which I know is very correct. The 9th corpse is there, which is trips, foreign travel. When Mars moves into Scorpio, Pluto is going to become active in this very spot here. Where Aquarius is in airport, crashes. Aquarius is airport, is plane crash, this accident. You're going to be seeing all this and all that stuff about so and so person's trailer killing a celebrity sisters and all that stuff. You are going to be seeing people that nobody even knows them. Crush, truck, heavy trucks, lorries might not even be that person's own. Might be another businessman's own. But you are going to see all of these themes of accidents. Themes of accidents. You're going to be seeing. I'm being raw here because I will not sugarcoat this thing. It is Mars we are talking about. There's nothing to sugarcoat about that guy. It is just plain. It's just coming. It's just coming. And I have to warn you people because you're watching my video. Even if you don't subscribe, no problem. I want to give you this information. But if you like my video, subscribe. Why won't you subscribe? Subscribe now. And share the video too. So, Mars is moving here tomorrow, 22nd September. That's a Scorpio. You know, Scorpio is death. Scorpio is surgery. This is not a good time. Starting tomorrow is not a good time for anybody that wants to carry out surgery in a Nigerian hospital. I'm not, demonetized or what is it called? I'm not, saying anything bad about the medical sector in Nigeria. But I guarantee you, accidents happens. An accident is bound to happen by this transit. Mars stays in a sign for nothing less than 44 days. That is over a month. So we have this energy to contend with. Even when 1st October, which is not far, we are going to move into the energy for Nigeria is going to move for Scorpio. Scorpio is the sign that is our energy for the year in this country. That is bad. It's already bad for us because the beginning of this year, we saw tankers falling. We are going to be seeing that again because that is what Mars is. Mars is filling stations. Substances that are flammable, whatever the English they call it. That is Mars. And Neptune, this planet of oil and gas, is here. You're going to see tankers falling. Talking about fall, Pluto, which rules Aquarius, is in Pluto, which rules Scorpio, is in Aquarius. Aquarius is fall. Greater impact, the kind of fall that will fall, tank will burst, oil will spill, fire will catch. This is it. This is it. You want to take flight. This is not the best time to take flight. You're on the road. Don't speed too much. Accident is going to be on a high, all-time high this period. You're watching me. You're very, very lucky. You have a driver or you drive yourself. Everybody will be on normal speed so you can foresee danger and match brake before you get there. You got to be like, let me see, it will play. I'll just pray it doesn't touch you. It will play. This thing will play. We are talking about Mars here. He's not someone that you can gamble on. He just comes, he deliver. He will just come and deliver. You understand me? This is the divider. Talking about celebrity beefs, the fifth house here is the house of celebrities, regardless of any sign that is there. So you're going to be seeing celebrity beefs, assassination on celebrity lives, assassination on lawyers, on politicians, on, dibias, pastors, bishops, reverends. These people, you hear it in the news. Assassination attempt on these. Maybe one person's church, something happened, one person's church got turned up in flames. Went up in flames. All this kind of stuff. Oh, this person was being careless. The deity was worshipping, or this set his shrine on fire. These are themes of these things are what you are going to be hearing. I'm not saying those ones are going to happen. There's no specific thing. I'm giving you guys the things we are expecting to happen. I can stay here for 1 hour and break down this thing. I will still not cover it all. This thing is infinite. Like I said in one of my videos. Your chart you see, this cycle you see, it's inexhaustible. You cannot exhaust it. It's inexhaustible. It's infinite. Mars is moving into Scorpio tomorrow, guys. Scorpio is a sign of surgery, including Mars. If you're taking medication now, injection, the high chances of sexually transmitted infection is going to... Because Neptune is viruses, sicknesses, illnesses in the sign of sex. Scorpio isn't just a sign of sex, it's a sign of sexually transmitted infection, including Mars. Mars is not there, the same place. So we're going to hear all these things, the rate of these things going on. I mean, people who sell medicines in this sector, they are really going to pick, they are really going to touch money. This fast money is really coming. Fast money is really coming. They are really going to, there's money coming their way though. And this is the time where robbery too is also going to be high. Banks too should also, strengthen their sector, which is Venus. When Mars enters here now, all these planets are also going to become active. So Venus being the planet of banks. Venus being the planet of banks. Yeah, issue about bank robbery, bank theft. Neptune is fraud, Yahoo, all that stuff about, Yahoo boys hacking into a bank and stealing all those criminal elements, which is what Scorpio is. You're going to see it happening. But Neptune, being in the sign of criminality, Neptune is fraud, Yahoo, scam, all that stuff. That's Neptune. I'm not reading people here, because if you are thinking I'm telling you something that you will use to plan so that you don't get into danger. These are the things that we are going to be seeing unfolding. These things are going to be unfolding. Talking about Venus. Venus by transit now is in Virgo, which is the third house of Nigeria. So we are going to be seeing all these things being broadcast in the news. And then Neptune is in Aries, which is the 10th place. Other issues about taxation that started to come up. Mars rules the 10th, which is the place of tax. Authority figures, highly placed authority figures is the 10th place. And the ruler of the 10th place, which happens to be Mars, is now here in Scorpio. The government is not smiling. And Scorpio being the sign of forensics. So you're going to see the government taking action towards setting up a database that will allow them to spot fraud scams, people that avoid fraud, people that try to cheat their way from paying, not fraud, people that avoid tax, people that try to cheat themselves away from paying tax. All that stuff, the government is going to be really busy on getting all that stuff. All the systems that needed to be, all the actions that needed to be in place, you understand, to detect all the intelligence network. Commerce is intelligence, yes. All of the intelligence that is needed to successfully carry out this new tax system that's coming in place, whether we will like it or not, whether I want to rebel against it or not. That's left for us. Talking about rebellion, so we have October, November, December. December, we should be seeing some protests. I don't know the nature of the protests, but we should be seeing some protests in December. So, all right, so back to this stuff here, Neptune, religion, religious aids, being exposed. Being exposed. Because when Mars move into here, Pluto, which also rules Scorpio, is in the sign of Aquarius, which is the sign of revolution. And Neptune is here. I've not considered the aspect too. I'm just reading planetary placement, guys. With Neptune being here, because I didn't even draw that one. That is extra work. Don't worry, I don't want to get into that one. I just want to give you people good information that you can work with. Neptune. This is also going to take form in the form of, some pastors or some DB has been exposed for, doing something for some clients or some members that did not work. Yeah. Scorpio is death. Death is going to be around our lawyers. Some lawyers are going to go, some people in the judiciary are going to go, some politicians are going to go down. Like I said, assassination attempts. So that might be by sickness, because the indication for illness, taking out some of these people is very, very strong there. Some of them dying as a result of an illness, a life-threatening illness. We are going to be seeing these things. Are going to be seeing these things come to the fore. So going to be seeing these things come to the fore. So another thing too I also wanted to touch on is I think it's okay, the energy for the month. Okay, Mars is already that active. I mean, the fact that tomorrow, being the 22nd, we are still in that master light, is the Mars timeline that started yesterday. Today is 21st, so it's going to continue to the end of the month. This month is the month of September. Okay, September ends on the 30th. So on the 30th is when this energy is going to be on. So tomorrow is 22nd, next tomorrow is 23rd. So on the 23rd, the sun moves into 0 degrees of Libra. If I'm not mistaken, sun moves into 0 degrees of Libra. So Uranus is still here, and he's going retrograde in Gemini. It's going to move back into Taurus. This is why I normally tell people, take out your money from the bank. The fiat system is going to get a very, very devastating shake. Very, very it's going to be going through a devastating shake, So about celebrities, where I talk about celebrities, I think I'm not just going to dwell on this Uranus placement. Yeah. Let me leave it alone. Let me focus on this Mars transit. So, and Mars being active too for this timeline up to the 30th means that wherever he is right now, that is wherever he was in the natal chart, the Nigerian chart, is going to become active. So we are still looking into domestic violence and violence against women. You understand me? You are still looking into all those themes, right? And also we are looking at possible divorce, increase in possible divorce rate, because where Venus is here to in Mars, in a possible, high increase in divorce rates. Another thing is, issues of partners, having secret sexual affairs, all that stuff coming to, for all of it being exposed. We are going to be seeing all of those things too. In the media too. In the media. Talking about Neptune. Neptune rules the 9th house of the Nigerian chart. That's the place of, that's the media. That is the bloody fucking media. And Venus is also there. Venus rules the 11th place. 11th place is the internet. So we are going to be seeing these things. We are going to be hearing about into the media. You understand? People. Why? Because Pluto is in Aquarius. Because Pluto rules Scorpio. So it's revelation. Yes, that's what Aquarius is. Aquarius is a sign of revelation, realization, awakening. You understand me? Yes. So we're going to be seeing these things being revealed. All of the criminal activities. And this is also the time too where the religious sector, the spiritual sector, all that stuff is going to be, all of the criminal activities there is going to go out of hand. It's going to skyrocket. Some are going to be exposed. Some are just going to go full throttle. but majority of it is going to be reviewed. I'm very sure because with Pluto being here in Aquarius now, majority of it is going to be reviewed. But the tendency for them to go extra this period. I'm glad I mentioned it. We're already in September, right? So there's normally this trend of when we get into an ember month, things begin to become. This month is going to feel like that month. This month and throughout the period, Mars is going to be in Scorpio, even till next month. It's going to feel like December. You know that feeling you get when December is close. You understand? Like when we just begin the ember month starting from September, people begin to feel like people are going to be looking for a way to make money, or keep your daughters in the house, or keep your children in the house, or so people don't use them to make money, or everybody that's moving out should know where they are going. Call someone and tell someone that this way, all those things. This month, going forward, even till next month, is going to feel like that. This month, what I'm talking about is from this 21st going forward, even till next month, because on the 1st of October, we are going to move into the Sagittarius timeline. So Jupiter is in Sagittarius, so it's easy to track. So, but by transit, Jupiter is here in Cancer, where Mars is. So Mars is still going to remain prominent. It's not letting anybody go. He's not letting anybody. He's still going to remain prominent. So, but the thing I'm seeing here is possible increase in workers' salary is something that is really bound to happen. Because when we move into the Sagittarius timeline, it's going to bring abundance for a lot of people, good fortune for a lot of people. So in case it reaches you, take advantage of it. You understand me? Because the energy is going to be in that position where all these things are going to be coming. And just now, I just remember on Facebook I mentioned deity. Look, Jupiter is this planet of deities. When you see Jupiter, think of all of the things it means, and also think of it as deities too. You understand what I'm saying? This is why on Facebook I said if you're owning a deity, because currently Jupiter is currently in Cancer. That is where Mars is. Mars is wrath. It's anger. You understand? Pure primal instinct to kill, to shed blood. That is what Mars is. That impulsiveness, that is anything drives, that drives anything, is drive. You understand? Okay, so as I was saying, Jupiter being the planet of deities, and it's also the planet of education, which happens to be in the sign of Sagittarius, which is the sign of education. So we're going to be seeing workers in the place of education and salary. There's likely this government isn't really inclined to salary increase, but this indication is giving indication of salary increase. You understand? So currently it's in the sign of Cancer now, and even by October it's still going to be, even till next year Jupiter is still going to be in Cancer by transit. I need to emphasize on that, by transit. So being the planet of education in the sign of Cancer, Cancer is the home, why I'm saying this is students having to go back home because there's a strike. Because where it is in Cancer, Nigeria has Mars there, which is strike. You understand what I'm saying now? Which is strike. So when I saw that stuff, there's likelihood that this is going to happen. And it's because of workers' salary in the education sector, which is going to happen next year. Not next year, from next month we are going to enter into that timeline. In fact, I even feel October we are going to be seeing a lot of that stuff in the news. So I think by December, when I said there's going to be a protest, the protest is likely going to be an education-related protest. You understand? Yes, it's likely going to be an education-related protest. But however, there's still going to be a protest. Where it's going to come from, I can't completely or concretely say for now. But the indication shows that it's likely going to be, because the energy for the year is actually going to determine how this is going to play out. And seeing that the ninth cusp, which is the cusp of education, which the cusp of the ninth house, right, is in the sign of Aquarius here. So we're still talking about education. It's likely where that stuff is going to be playing out from. You understand what I'm saying? So there's likelihood of that strike, playing out. And I think I saw a video somewhere of I think a couple like that. But anyways, this place here, the fifth house, is celebrities. Now I want to talk about celebrities. Is this is a period where you might likely see someone suddenly. Pluto is in Aquarius. Aquarius is a sign of sudden surprises. Someone might suddenly come up. It's a very bloody criminal. very bloody criminal. Someone might likely come up and I don't know who, but the person is going to come up and is going to try to swindle people using some spiritual or religious practice to swindle people of their money. The person is a very hardened criminal. And we are going to be seeing a lot of actions from the hidden powers, whoever the hidden powers is. And talking about hidden powers, it's good to emphasize on this because the military is going to go into action. Now, when Mars moves into Scorpio, military is going to go into action, especially when it comes to EFCC. EFCC is going to be on patrol. The armed forces is going to be, but mainly the sector that is going to actually go into full, fledged mode that Scorpio governs. Because Mars is going to, yes, Mars is the military. All armed forces, as long as they are wielding a weapon, all of that armed forces sector, be it police, anything that holds arms, the armed forces, all of the armed forces, all Mars. And Mars moving into a sign that is rules happens to be the sign of criminality, criminology, forensics, investigation. Mars is intelligence, so we are going to be seeing the EFCC because EFCC, their logo is the logo of the eagle, right? And eagle is a Scorpio bird. Eagle is a Scorpio bird. You see the background of their logo is painted red. That's Mars. You have to understand, even governments use these things. Not our government. Our government don't know shit about astrology. It is the people that colonized us that make our laws. And then they just put on a show of people putting on agbada and then they just debate and debate. One says I, one says me, but everybody knows the law that is about to be made. You understand? Those are the people that know this particular science. They designed the EFCC logo, don't worry. With the idea behind it, that's why you see the symbolism there of red, the eagle and the red. That is the eyes and watches. You understand? Because that is the energy of intelligence. What do? They gather intelligence. You understand? They gather intelligence and then they organize a penetration or an arrest. Or what is it called? They do all of that stuff. You see, and they move to get stuff done. You understand what I'm saying? So, we are going to be seeing them a lot of this period from tomorrow. We are going to be seeing a lot of EFCC action. EFCC is going to be really doing a whole lot. You understand me? EFCC is really going to be very busy. Yahoo boys, because that's Neptune. Neptune is Yahoo boys. Yahoo, fraud, scam, any kind, as long as you're under that category of a scam, fraud. This is when you need to watch your back. They are coming. The FCC is coming. Yes, they are coming. So, and they are going to be having serious government backing and funding. Is going to be going into that sector to gather up as many as the arrest is going to go over the roof. It's going to be crazy. There's going to be invasion. And with Mars moving into that place, there's likelihood that someone is going to be snitching. Why I mean snitching? Because Mars is, what is it called? Mars is intelligence. I've said that before. So all of the intelligence gathering that has to do with whistle blowing and all that stuff is going to be taking place here. You understand what I'm saying? So Neptune being a planet of secret enemies. Someone maybe say maybe now your guy, he don't bill you before. You just in billion. You can't show and say you the oppressor. They give them pressure. You understand? You match you match your GLK, you match your Benz, you feel fly. See your guy don't carry you for mind. You go blow whistle now. You go tell you see their location. Go carry them. Then go find out something. That's something where you don't give out. Then go give them. Because he don't blow whistle. This is the energy of betrayal. In case I have not said it plainly for you to understand. That's Scorpio. Scorpio is betrayal. It is when the sun is in Scorpio. Symbolically, that is the period where they say Judas kissed Jesus. And then boom, the Sadducees and the Pharisees, they grabbed him. That is betrayal. The scorpion that stings. That is the sign of Scorpio. The scorpion, you see the stinging, the tail curved. The stinging act, that is the kiss that he kissed Jesus. That is when the scorpion stings the son of God. This is religion. Yeah, they cut it out of this stuff. When the sun is in Scorpio, that's in 23rd of October. Yes, that's when the sun is usually in Scorpio. 23rd of October to I think 21st of November. Yes, that's when the sun is in Scorpio. So that portion, that's when we say, okay, Jesus was betrayed. You understand what I'm saying? That's why I say Jesus was betrayed. So, what else are we looking into here? Armed robbery events too. Armed robberies, all these things are Mars stuff. I need to emphasize on Mars there because it's the most prominent planet here that we need to be very, very, very careful about. This one I said about deity is just what it is. You understand? All of the priesthood, whoever the bishop or pastor that are in a priesthood together, next year is going to be their season because Jupiter is religion, is education, is spirituality. So next year we're going to see this thing go out of proportion. Pastors are going to be coming. These ones are going to be they are criminals because don't forget Jupiter is in Cancer where Mars is. Mars is criminals. Don't forget any format they give you, don't trust it. They are all bloody fucking criminal. I guarantee you this is what the energy is saying. And I'm telling you people what is indicated here. I'm not the one saying it. Then when you happen, say, that boy can predict. I'm not making anything happen. I'm not making anything happen. Nobody should confuse that with that. I have a special. I can read it. Yes, I will tell you. Tell you what the indication says. But I'm not the one making it happen. I'm not a prophet. Before someone will come and mistake it to be like, that boy, the prophesied this. I'm not you. I don't know how to use this stuff to open office and start chopping people. I'm very careful about my existence here. I'm very, very careful. Don't want to come back here and pay for the damage that you've done. No, people often say karma is this, is this. The people you've done evil against, how do they get justice if the universe does not make you pay for that thing you did? Karma is only good when other people do you bad and you wish it upon them. But when you do other people bad, the karma is not it's an evil concept. It does not exist. We have been brainwashed to believe. Let me tell you, that thing is law. In case you don't know what karma is that law that they say the law of cause and effect. That is karma. Yes. What goes around comes around. They say it in different ways. All karma they are talking about. Law of cause and effect. They say the law of karma. There's no law of karma. People just added that one to whatever it is they are doing. It's just dogma. The original law itself is the law of cause and effect. Yes. That is what the law is. Law of karma is the law of cause and effect. It's just the same thing. Basically, they are saying the same thing. So, I'm not scared to use this stuff to make money. You understand? I just have sense to understand the consequences and the repercussion that is going to come if I decide to use it to open office. I'd rather do it like this. You people should subscribe to my channel. Let me grow big on this platform. It's you people that will make me grow big. But to use this thing to swindle people, I will never do it. So I am not a prophet. I'm not making anything happen. I'm telling you what I am seeing. That the chart is giving indications too. My only ability is that I have a stronger intuition to look at a chart and be like, the first thing that comes to my mind, because intuition doesn't come with conscious thought. It just snaps like that. So the first thing that comes to my mind, I will say it, which you will see it happen, but I'm not the one that made it happen. You understand? Something in me, you understand? Whatever I came here for is supporting me in this stuff that I'm doing. So my intuition when it comes to reading this thing is very sharp. So when I say sometimes you see it happen, don't worry. I'm not the one making it happen. My intuition just pinpointed the particular one that is going to unfold. And I say it. And I even create a picture to make you understand what I'm saying so you get it clearly. These are my time, these are my gifts, and I'm using them the way I'm supposed to use it. You people want me to grow big, follow me, subscribe. Subscribe. As you're looking at me, like the video, subscribe, share it. Yes, share it. I'm not going to put any link and say donate for me. Yes, my contact details is always in the description. So if you feel like you want to tell me thank you for the contact to be there, contact me. If you want to book a reading, I would prefer you book a reading than you dash me money, sir. Book a reading. Yes, I want to work for my money. Thank you. Or book a reading, But if you dash me money, I will not complain, but, I just want to, I really want to work for my money. So, this is what we are looking into now. And as I'm speaking right now, it's already raining. So, I guess I've done justice to this particular stuff. So I'm going to leave you guys here. And like I said, further in the future, I'm still going to be making more predictions video as the planets are transiting or anyone hits retrograde. Not every time I have time, but whenever I have time, I call, especially in the year where Mars is active. Because next year, the sun is going to be active. And why I'm saying this is Nigeria has it in the second house. So next year is a good year for Nigeria, honestly. Because when Jupiter goes active next year, which is the planet of abundance and good fortune, and then the sun goes active from January 2026, the sun goes active. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So once that happens, the sun rules Leo in the Nigerian chart. In fact, it rules Leo, but in the Nigerian chart, Leo is in the second, which is money. So there's going to be a lot of money flowing in. A lot of, underdogs, content creators that are not big yet are going to really blow up. Yes, that's next year is the year of content creators. It just so happens that it's not our primary energy year, just like this year is Mars energy, and our energy for the year is also a Scorpio energy. You understand me? So which Mars happens to do Scorpio. So we saw a lot of that Mars indications. You understand? But this time around, and the sun shines in Libra in the Nigerian chart, so we are likely going to be seeing a lot of, court cases, court related activities. All that stuff is going to become a lot of, what is it called? Because the sun is fame. You have to understand, the sun is fame, not popularity in that sense. Popularity is Aquarius, which is funny because Leo and Aquarius, they oppose each other. So Leo is fame, Aquarius is popularity. This is just semantics, but I think they kind of mean something. But the fact that this signs points to this thing separately means that they are not really the same thing, if you understand. But the sun is fame. Now I'm saying this is shines in the sign of Libra. Libra is lawyers. You understand? So a lot of lawyers are likely going to be, cases are going to come up that will bring lawyers to the limelight, to the fore. A lot of lawyers are really going to, be called to bar. Whichever process that is delaying them for that to happen is actually going to ease up and all of that stuff, you see. So, the moon, the Mercury also is in that same place where the sun shines. So, these things you are going to be coming to the media, because that's what Mercury is too, is the media. You understand me? It's blogs. Bloggers too are going to see money next year, I guarantee you. Bloggers are going to touch money next year. But mostly it's content creators, because before we get to the September of next year, Jupiter would have moved into Leo, which still remains the most active planet for us here in Nigeria. So as it's moving to Leo, which is a fire sign, because Jupiter rules Sagittarius, which is a fire sign, so it's also going to be very strong. They expect it to be very strong in Leo. So a lot of content creators are really going to blow up. Are really, really, really going to blow up a lot. You understand? And we are also going to be seeing themes of the monarchs. You understand? That is only of Ife. And the monarchs I'm talking about, you're going to see them coming to the fore. All that stuff around concerning them. Last month, I think it was last month, where I think the sun was in last month, sometime last month, we bore witness to I think when Mars moved into Libra, and that's when the sun is in Nigeria. Yes. Two monarchs you're having contentions, which is the sign of Libra. Oh, talking about contentions. Lawyers are going to print, they are going to eat next year, but lawyers are really going to be money. There's cases for them to really get into, So talking about money and all of that stuff, there's likely, this energy is giving indications of likely prison breakouts. With Mars moving into Scorpio, because by Neptune is prison. So there's likelihood of prison breakouts. All those random prison breakouts, you just hear something happen, some inmate escaped and all of that stuff. Yeah, that's Pisces escapism. But underneath all that stuff, there's going to be some hidden power play. Because right now Mars is going to move into Scorpio. In case I've not said this before, we are going to be seeing a lot of hidden power play. You understand? Assassination attempts. You know that the people that we don't see, we don't know that they are the ones, trying to maintain the status quo, where they are the ones running things, they are the hidden powers controlling things. But that's what the sign of Scorpio is. It's hidden powers, it's manipulation, it's control. You understand me? It's all kinds of underworld activities. So we are going to see a lot of it is going to be playing now. So when they say the empire, David then you normally use that word, the empire and all of that. We are going to be seeing the hidden powers of Nigeria. The activity is going to be strong from tomorrow when Mars moves into Scorpio. You understand me? And we are going to be seeing them. They are going to be using religious aid to tame people, especially as regards to this tax-related stuff, because that's Mars. Mars rules the 10th house, so that's the house of taxation. And Mars being here now, these people are going to be using religious heads They are going to be using politicians, religious heads, spiritual heads to convince you on why the new tax law is good, why you should actually pay 15%, and 15% is not bad. The brainwashing will set in. Yes, the brainwashing will set in, I guarantee you. In fact, next year, in fact, October itself, beginning of October is when it's going to go out of, the dogma is going to go out of control. The dogma is going to go out of control. It's going to be in your face 247. Brainwashing you, steadily pushing the dogma into your brain. You understand? Pushing it to you that you should adapt to it. A lot of people, these people have a lot of followers, and the hidden powers of this country, they know. So you see a lot of those people going to be coming to the fore. You understand? Like telling you why you should, you should adjust to the new tax law, the benefit of it, and you know what is good for you, Sha. Let me not say the one who said that Leo said. You know what is good for you. If it's good for you, new tax law is good for you. Right? Sit down at home. If it's not good for you, you know what to do. December is the energy for protest. You can actually use that energy. And so, all right. So this is the end of